Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, following the reveal of the Dragons Rising Season 3 Part 2 sets, we need to talk about the new ninja minifigures that will be associated with said sets. We do this type of video pretty much every time a new batch of ninja suits gets revealed. This time though, my opinions are not the most positive things out there surrounding these new suits. I really don't like a lot of what I see here. And also, not every ninja got a new suit this time around. We have Kai, Cole, Zayn, Lloyd, Nia, Sora, and Frack. Jay did not get a new suit, Wildfire most definitely did not get a new suit, unfortunately, and Aaron did not either. So we just have this group of 7 ninja. Ninjago fans have been calling these suits the Spectral suits for the time being. I don't know if they have an official name as of right now. They might. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But like I said, I would just like to give my thoughts and opinions surrounding these new suits because honestly, I'm not super impressed with what I see here, and I genuinely feel like these might be some of the worst Ninjago suits that we've seen in a very long time. Definitely my least favorite suits from Dragons Rising. Let's start with Kai's suit here. And just with Kai's, we will talk about some general consistencies between all of the ninja. So first of all, they all use this new armor piece, which I will say does look pretty good. We've been talking about this new armor piece for a while on the channel here. Now this armor piece is also compatible with the Dragons Rising Season 1 merge hoods. Also, the climber suits use the same hoods too. They are compatible with this armor piece. I don't know why they opted to go for the hair pieces for the ninja instead. Who knows? But in the case of Kai's suit, his isn't the worst thing ever. I probably would have preferred more dark red on Kai, just to kind of, again, contrast with the normal red, which pretty much occupies a lot of the suit. Of course, the suit does have dark red on it, which is unfortunately another consistency between most of these suits. Kai's suit also features gray. I'm just not crazy about the detailing, and you will see this on other ninja as well. There's just kind of random lines everywhere. And at the same time, these suits have a weird minimalist kind of vibe to them. I don't really like how that contrasts. Because on Kai's, you know, we have the straps, but then there's just this random fire thing on the torso that extends down to the legs. No outline surrounding that. It's just kind of painted on there, and it feels very haphazardly done. Again, that's something that we will see on other suits too. I'm just not liking how that looks for Kai. Now, of course, the headband hairpiece combo is expected. I think that looks fine. I'm just not really into the torso and the leg printing this time around. Fortunately, like I said, Kai is one of the least offensive ones. I really don't like transitioning to Cole here. I really don't like the new Cole. Again, the dark red just does not fit with Cole's color scheme, and that will be the case with other ninja as well. Dark red is not one of those colors that works with every color, and I don't know why in the case of Cole, it's just on the legs. It almost feels like this minifigure has the wrong legs. I feel like with different legs, this minifigure would look a lot better. Also, not to mention, Cole is also inconsistent in the fact that he does not have his headband. Again, no idea why that piece just hasn't been appearing at all. Maybe it's retired, maybe it's not, I have no clue. But the torso print on Cole also features these weird orange like lines or like shapes. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Maybe his elemental power of earth, but we've seen other suits represent that better. Also, we just have random chains here for a lot of the ninja and random bits of brown. It's very strange. Not to mention, again, the dark red. I really don't like the dark red on Cole, especially compared to other Cole suits. It just looks off. It's like, oh, what happened to that one? Who knows? They just decided to give it dark red for who knows what reason. Moving on to Zayn. Zayn's isn't completely bad, but again, the dark red just does not work. If the dark red was maybe gold, I feel like this suit would be a lot more successful. I don't know why the dark red is here, and like the case with Cole, it doesn't appear on the torso print anywhere, which makes me assume, if I just saw this figure out of the blue without knowing anything about this figure, I would just assume that they gave this figure the wrong legs. It just doesn't look all that great. The torso print printing is also, again, very minimalist, but in the case of Zayn, I think it works a lot better than, say, on Kai. And also, like Cole, Zayn does not have a headband, but Zayn does have an excuse. There was never a headband hairpiece combo made for Zayn, which I've always said was a mistake from the beginning. They should have just done that anyway. I know Zayn doesn't have like normal hair, but just give him a headband regardless to make him fit with the other ninja. I don't know what we're doing here. Next up, we have Spectral Lloyd, and see, I don't really care for this one either. Green and red is not that bad of a color combo, but it's just, you know, the fact that no other Lloyd suit, especially recently, has had this dark red color. He's certainly had brown before, but never like a dark red. Maybe if it was brown, I would have liked it a lot more. But again, we also have the gray and the gold. It's like, just pick a secondary color, man. Also, speaking of secondary colors, the dark green is very minimal this time around. Maybe the arms should have been dark green. Maybe that would have been better. I do like the armor piece with the green and the gold. I think that looks good. Again, it's just the dark red that kind of throws it off for me. I don't know why they chose dark red for this group of ninja. It doesn't work as an accent color for most of these. Lloyd's is not completely terrible though. Again, probably one of the least offensive ones. It's definitely up there. It's not the best one. We will get to that. But it is still at least somewhat solid, I guess. It's just, again, with the color scheme, compared to previous Lloyds, it doesn't make any sense. Then we move on to Nia, and unfortunately, I think Nia got the worst treatment here. Now, in terms of the dark red, it actually does work for Nia, because that's been a part of her color scheme for years, especially in Dragons Rising. Some of her suits have had dark red. I'm not very upset about that. The color distribution, meanwhile, is just completely horrible. So from the neck up, you would expect Nia to have like a blue aesthetic. Then you go from the torso down and it's all gray. It's like the top half of the figure is blue and the bottom half of the figure is gray. And again, with the brown, why not just have that be gold? It would match the gold shoulder pads a lot better. I feel like what they should have done is they should have just made that armor piece gray instead of blue. I think that would have worked a lot better for Nia. And again, with the headband piece especially, it would have made the blue more equally distributed among the entire figure. Because right now, it just kind of feels like, again, the top half of the figure is blue, the bottom half is gray. I just don't know what they were going for here, and it just makes an ugly look. Then we move on to Sora, and my goodness, this Sora suit is amazing. This is by far the best Spectral suit out of the entire selection. For one, no stupid dark red. Good. Sora's color scheme is consistent. The gold, the white, the blue, the pink, all of that is here and all of it looks good. Again, this is the upgrade that we've been asking for a while for Sora, and I think it works especially well. Overall, I really enjoy this suit for Sora. It looks great. There is consistency between the torso and the legs, which I can't say for a lot of the other ninja. And again, no stupid dark red. That is just amazing. Love that. Yeah, Sora by far has the best suit out of the entire selection, just because it's consistent with not only older Sora minifigures, but also with itself. Again, the torso and the legs feel like they belong together, rather than someone like, say, Cole or Zayn, where it feels like we have the wrong parts here. And finally, we end on Frack. Now, I have some mixed feelings about Frack's suit. I do like the green color. It's a different green from Lloyd's, so it stands out as being, you know, still green, but still different. I also don't mind the sleeveless approach. I think the green, gray, and orange color scheme is pretty solid. I just kind of don't enjoy how it's inconsistent with Frack's previous suit, which was green and black. I'm also not crazy about the snake head hood combo. I just feel like it lacks a lot of detail, like pupils, you know, that would have been awesome to at least show that Frack is, you know, alive. Kind of looks like he's just like possessed here, which I really don't really care for all that much. But honestly speaking, it's not the worst thing ever. You know, it's independent like Sora's. It's just kind of, you know, not all that consistent to Frack's previous suit, which, to be fair, we never got a minifigure for, but I did make a custom, and this new figure is going to look pretty awkward next to that custom, so maybe that's my own, like, OCD talking, but I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on the Spectral Frack figure, if you will. It's not the best thing ever, but it's also not the worst thing ever. But speaking of the worst things ever, I firmly believe that these are the worst Dragons Rising suits that we've seen so far from the Ninja, which is a shame because a lot of the previous Dragons Rising suits have been very, very solid, and even the ones that weren't all that solid looked a lot better than these. I'd say my previous least favorite suits were the Storm suits, and even those weren't too bad. Again, they had some awkward color distribution in the case of some of them, but overall they look infinitely better than these ones here, the spectral suits, if you will. Again, I just don't think dark red works as a consistent accent color across the board. You couldn't have made it like, you know, gold. We already have gold on all of these guys anyway, or most of them. Why not have the dark red be gold? Would have worked a lot better. Or maybe the brown could have been consistent between all of them, because some of them have brown, some of them have like this weird gray color. It's very awkward, and that's pretty much how I would describe this entire group of suits. Just awkward. Again, given the context, the storyline of Season 3 Part 2, the designs for a lot of these, they just don't look all that great, and I don't think these are like the worst Ninjago minifigures ever for the Ninja. We've certainly seen worse non-canon suits, but in terms of canon suits, these are definitely not all that great. Probably some of my least favorite ones that I've seen, not just in Dragons Rising, but honestly probably throughout the entire Ninjago series. So yeah, not the biggest fan of these things. Obviously, I've made that very, very clear. But what do you guys think? Leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. Again, people have been pretty mixed on these from what I've seen, with a lot of people actually, you know, really liking them. So if you like them, again, that's a-okay. All opinions are welcome down below in the comments. I'm just not really, you know, impressed by this selection this time around. So leave all of your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff. And I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.